Divorced men of Reddit, what moment with your former wife made me think yup, I'm asking this girl to divorce me? We were already not speaking. It was Thanksgiving. I knew she wasn't going to bother. But I made a turkey and whatever goes with turkey for my then 8-year-old daughter. I had the turkey out on the counter to rest after roasting. My beloved bride walked in. Calmly threw the turkey in the kitchen trash can. And walked out. I had to take my kid to Ducking Golden Corral for Thanksgiving. That was it. I was done. When we went on a family vacation and I hoped she'd sleep the entire time so I could have fun with our son. I was on deployment and she yelled at me for interrupting her family's celebration when I called on Christmas. When the cops showed up and arrested me while I was washing dishes. Found out after being taken to the station that she had claimed that I had been beating on her and my 5-year-old son. Was acquitted in court a month or so later. The situation was so messed up that the cops actually testified on my behalf. I was working on a mother-daughter scrapbook as a Christmas present for her. Was going through her Google Photos account looking for pics of them together. Came across a selfie she took with some dude laying on her. Confirmed her second affair. Knew it was over the moment I saw it. That has ducked me up pretty good. When a friend's wife said to me, "You know your wife is sleeping with my husband." Oh, I can't live in this house anymore. It's not in a major city. We're less than an hour away from one. Also, I inherited this house. It costs me nothing but upkeep. Also, I pay every bill. You work 6 hours a week and have one class. Where do you get off demanding anything? Oh, buy me a new house or we're done. Get the duck out of my house. When she staged a robbery of our house so she could pawn all of my ad for drug money. Finding her. On Christmas Eve. Still sexting a co-worker whom she claimed she was no longer in contact with, having been busted sexting him previously. Also, I cleared out of there like a blackjack dealer. I used to love to do chores for her because she loved being taken care of. When she stopped noticing, it started hurting. Then one day I made a bench for our entryway out of barnwood. Took about 40 hours of work. She walked in the house after work that day and sat her purse on it and proceeded to start the fight where she told me that she was mad she got married to me. She stormed out of the house grabbing her purse. Never noticed the bench was there. I knew then, but I think she already knew. When she said, "You didn't pray hard enough and that's why our son has cancer. That's why I'm sleeping with my prayer partner." My wife was around less and less, had to be free to live her life. Go out with her friends. More often than not she would call me to pick our daughter up from daycare. After promising to pick her up and have some girl time, just tell her I'm working late or not feeling well. She always had something better to do and the kids were old enough to know better. I went to pick our daughter up one day. When they called her name she came running over until she saw it wasn't mom. Again. Slumped her shoulders and slowly walked over to ask what's her excuse this time. That was the breaking point. Told her to get out. Even helped pay her security deposit to get her out. When I found the letter between her and my friend about their affair and how she couldn't wait to be away from me so they could be together. Yup. I knew then. That it was time to get that divorce. When my stepdaughter became a teenager. My ex ramped up the nutso. She had always been an impatient, angry screamer of a parent. But as my stepdaughter became a young woman, my ex just went crazy with envy or something. I know lots of moms have a hard time with teenage daughters. But their base level patience is so much better than my ex's was. Threats of cutting hair in middle of night while daughter slept. Pulling hair. Slapping face. Ridiculing in front of her friends. Swinging something that missed and put a hole in the wall. I was out. With the kids. She required a much more varied selection of dicks than I was able to provide. So she went out and acquired them herself while I was stationed overseas in the Air Force. There were many reasons but this was the final straw. My grandmother was on her deathbed. My ex took this time to throw a childish fit because I ordered food that she didn't like. I realized at that point how completely miserable I was and how ducking short life is. So we divorced. She took all my money and my kids, plus child support. I've still never been happier, and every time I have to interact with her it blows my mind that we made it 9 years. I guess when we were together I was so trained to comply and overlook. I now see what an absolute toxic bully she was.